The Jack Benny Program, presented by Lucky Strike. To give you a finer, milder, more enjoyable cigarette, Lucky's pay more.
Yes, Lucky Strike pays millions of dollars more than official parity prices for fine tobacco.
At the tobacco auctions, as basket after basket of fine, light tobacco goes up for sale, as the price shoots up and up, as the top bid is reached, time and again you'll hear...
And another basket of fine tobacco goes to the makers of Lucky Strike. Yes, Lucky's pay more. Millions of dollars more than official parity prices for fine tobacco. No wonder...
LSMFT, LSMFT.
Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Yes, in each and every Lucky Strike, in every pack, in every carton, there's fine, light, naturally mild tobacco. Tobacco that makes Lucky's a truly finer cigarette.
So light up a Lucky. Prove to yourself how much milder, lighter, smoother Lucky's really are. You'll agree, in all the world, there's no finer cigarette than Lucky Strike.
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, to me this is a very exciting day because it's the opening broadcast of the Jack Benny program. But to the local Chamber of Commerce, it's just another Sunday. Just another day to send their free sightseeing bus on a tour of our fair city. So let's go back a few hours and board one of these buses as it makes its way around our glamorous town.
Your attention, please, folks. We're now entering Beverly Hills, where so many of our famous stars reside.
Gee, Henry, isn't it exciting? Imagine us riding along a street where all the movie stars live.
Yes, Clara, and if we see one, we can tell all our friends back in Pottsville
Oh,
that we...
look, Henry, there's Lassie. There's Lassie.
No, lady, that's my kid. He needs a haircut. Now, that early American home on the right is the residence of Gary Cooper.
Gosh, Clara, Gary Cooper's house.
Yeah. Imagine all of this happening to us, Mr. and Mrs. Henry Figsbottom.
No, darling, it's Fitzpatrick.
Oh, it's so hard for me to remember. We've only been married 3 hours.
And now, folks, across the street to the left, I want you to look at that house nestled among the palm trees. It's the home of Mr. Orson Welles. This house was conceived, designed, constructed, decorated, and furnished by Mr. Orson Welles. The trees grew by themselves. And now, lady, look, there's Lassie. There's Lassie!
Oh, yes, so it is.
And now this house we're coming to on the corner is the residence of Miss Mary Livingston.
Do you want to wear the blue dress or gray one, Miss Livingston?
I think I'll wear the gray one, Pauline.
Oh, gosh, Miss Livingston, you must be pretty excited about going back on the air today.
Oh, I am, Pauline. It'll be nice seeing the whole gang again after such a long vacation.
Oh, didn't you see any of them during the summer?
Only Mr. Benny. I saw him regularly.
Oh, well, that's nice. How often did you see Mr. Benny?
Once a month when he came for the rent. We used to sit around and play gin rummy, checkers, ping pong, badminton.
Oh, then it was a social visit, too.
No, he always stayed until my check cleared the bank. There. How does my dress look?
Oh, just lovely. The gray color sets off your tan beautifully. Where'd you get such a wonderful tan?
Well, I thought I told you, Pauline. I spent 4 weeks at Catalina with my sister Babe. Babe worked for the biggest seafood restaurant in Catalina.
Was she a waitress?
No, she was diving for abalone.
Oh, Miss Livingston, you're kidding me. From what I've heard about Babe, she was probably over there looking for a new boyfriend.
No, Pauline. Babe is a great deep-sea diver. In fact, she set a new record last month.
Really?
Yes, didn't you read in the papers a few weeks ago when they lowered that man 4,500 feet in the diving bell?
Yes.
Well, when they pulled it up, Babe was in there with him. Well, I better get started for the studio. Bye, Pauline.
Goodbye. Oh, say, Miss Livingston, when you see Phil Harris, give him a big kiss for me.
Well, Pauline, I wouldn't do a thing like that. Phil is a married man.
Well, last night I dreamed he was married to me. We had a beautiful home in Encino, 2 children and everything.
Pauline, what about Alice Faye?
She was our maid.
Alice Faye was working as your maid?
Through the courtesy of 20th Century Fox.
Oh, fine. Well, see you later. And by the way, Pauline, you need to prepare dinner. This is the first show, and maybe after the program, Mr. Benny will invite us all over to the Brown Derby for a big... Now I'm dreaming. Fry some hamburger.
Yes, ma'am.
Gosh, Clara, I can hardly wait to tell our friends in Pottsville we saw Mary Livingston's house.
Yeah. Say, driver, is it true that Miss Livingston used to work at the May Company?
Uh-huh. In those days, she was known as Nylon Nellie. And now, folks, I'd like you to notice that little white house with the green shutters. That's the residence of the popular singer, Dennis Day.
Oh, Dennis! Dennis! Oh, where is that boy? Dennis!
I'm taking a shower, Mother.
Oh, Dennis, I thought you took a shower last night.
This is the same one. I can't figure out how to turn it off.
Oh, well, never mind that. Just put on your bathrobe and come out here.
Yes, Mother.
Oh, that Dennis. Why doesn't he get married and leave home like other boys do?
Dennis, you'd better hurry.
Oh, here I am, Mother. I'll start dressing. Now, where are my shoes?
Here they are. Well, son, are you excited about Mr. Benny's opening program?
Yes, but this year things are going to be different. I'm going to stand up for my rights.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm an average guy, and I have normal intelligence, and it's not fair for Mr. Benny to make me play the part of a dumb, stupid kid. There, I got my shoes on. Now I'll go get my shirt.
What's happened, Dennis?
I tied my shoelaces together, all untied.
Now, Dennis, don't forget what I told you. This season, I want you to get your check from Mr. Benny immediately after each program.
Oh, Mother, I don't have to do that. I can trust Mr. Benny.
I wouldn't trust that man as far as I threw your father last night. And, Dennis, this year insist that Mr. Benny pay you in American money. There's no reason why you should have to go to Tijuana each week to cash your check. Do you understand?
Oh, si, senor. But, Mother, you shouldn't talk about Mr. Benny like that. He's one of the best friends I've got.
Some friend. What has he ever done for you?
Well, what about last year when I had to have that operation and I couldn't afford it? Didn't Mr. Benny come to my rescue?
Yes, but I still think you took a chance letting Rochester take out your appendix.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm going to save my money and have it sewed up someday. That Scotch tape is wearing out. Well, I'm all dressed and ready to go, Mother.
Oh, wait a minute, son. What song are you going to sing on the program?
Younger Than Springtime. Gee, I didn't even rehearse it yet.
Oh, well, you'd better run over it once before you go.
Okay, Mom.
I touch your hand and my arms grow strong, like a pair of birds that burst with song. My eyes look down at your lovely face, and I hold the world in my embrace. Younger than springtime are you, starlight are you, warmer than winds of June, or the gentle lips you gave me. Gayer than laughter are you, sweeter than music are you, angel and love, heaven and earth are you to me. And when your youth and joy invade my arms and fill my heart as now they do, then younger than springtime am I, gayer than laughter am I, angel and lover, heaven and earth am I
And now, folks, we're passing through the poorer section of Beverly Hills. These people have to use hard water in their swimming pool. And next, may I call your attention to that house with the spacious gardens all around it. It belongs to Phil Harris and Alice Faye.
Gee, it sure is beautiful, ain't it, Clara?
Yeah.
Folks, we certainly are in luck. If you look closely, you can see Phil Harris out in the yard talking to his gardener.
How do you like this flower bed, Mr. Harris?
Oh, it looks fine, Tom, fine.
Oh, I'm glad you like it. Cineglossum amabile is very colorful this time of year.
Indubitably. However, I think it would look nicer if we had a border of Abronia umbellata.
Mr. Harris, wouldn't it look better with a border of lobelia?
Lobelia with Cineglossum amabile?
Well, Mr. Harris, I was only suggesting...
I know, but watch it, man. Watch it. And, Tom, don't let me forget to irrigate the vegetable garden, especially the cabbages.
I won't. But tell me, Mr. Harris, why do you irrigate your cabbages with bourbon? Isn't that unusual?
Yeah, but that way I get the biggest heads in town.
Well, that sounds reasonable.
Now, look, Tom, I got to be running along. I got to go to the studio and rehearse my band.
My, you musicians lead such exciting lives. I never told you this, Mr. Harris, but my original ambition was to become a musician, too.
Oh. Did you study music?
Yes, but I wasn't too good at it. I couldn't understand the meaning of terms like pizzicato, andante, doloroso, tacit, forte, and allegro con moto. So I became a gardener.
Pass me a shovel, Bub. Look, I got to get going. And, Tom, I want to thank you for taking care of the garden while I was vacationing at Catalina.
Oh, I meant to ask you, Mr. Harris, did you have any luck on that fishing trip?
Yeah, pretty good. It was pretty good. I caught 2 barracuda, 3 albacore, and Mary's sister bathed. I threw the barracuda and bathed back. Well, I better change clothes, get started for the studio.
Yes, sir. Will you take one of Miss Faye's cars, or will you ride your bicycle?
Oh, I'll take one of her cars. She hasn't counted them lately. By the way, Tom, tell Miss Faye not to expect me home for dinner.
Oh?
Well, you see, this is the first show of the season, and after the program, Mr. Benny will probably take the whole cast out to the big derby for a big, make it the Brown Derby, for a big, let's make it the big Brown Derby. You'll take us out there for a big... I must have ate more of them cabbages than I thought. I'll see you.
our tour of Beverly Hills, we turn into Benedict Canyon Drive. Whoops, dead end. And folks, while I'm turning around, will you notice that house on the corner? That's the home of Robert Taylor and Barbara Stanley.
Oh, honey, if you only looked like Robert Taylor.
I'd be happy if you looked like Robert Taylor.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let me direct your attention to that little house in the middle of the block. It's the home of that famous musical aggregation, the Sportsmen Quartet. And, ooh, aren't we fortunate? And look who's waddling up the walk, Don Wilson.
Well, hello, fellas. Now, boys, we haven't got much time, so I'll get right down to business. You know, today is Mr. Benny's opening broadcast, and you really ought to have an appropriate song to welcome him back. While he was on vacation, he relaxed, took it easy, played golf, even went to Europe. In fact, this vacation did him so much good, you'd hardly recognize him. He looks wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Now, when you see him, how are you going to greet him?
Hello, beautiful. How'd you get so beautiful? Where'd you get those lovely big blue eyes? Hello, beautiful. How'd you keep so beautiful? What's your secret? Won't you soon advise? Tell us what you do to look so youthful. Are you really 39? Be truthful.
Tell me, Mr. Benny.
Hello, beautiful. Won't you tell us, beautiful? Where did you get those big blue eyes? Hello, Lucky Strike. How about a lucky strike? Light a lucky puff on it a while. LSMFT, that's a cigarette for me. Light a lucky, smoke it with a smile. Lucky strikes are made of fine tobacco. Everybody knows that it's a fact. Oh, hello, Mr. B, with our LSMFT. We're glad to be back on your show. Hello. We're glad to be back on your show.
And now as we continue along our way, is everybody comfy? Good. As we continue through beautiful Beverly Hills, we pause to admire one of the most lovely homes. The stately mansion across the street is the residence of Mr. and Mrs. Ronald Coleman. And on the other side of the 30-foot barbed wire fence is the home of Jack Benny.
You mean Jack Benny, star of stage, screen, and radio?
That's what his underwear on the line spells out.
Gee, Mr. Benny has such a big house. I wonder what's going on in there.
Well, I got the dishes all washed. Better go make the bed. Seems like old times, Mr. Benny being back on the air. Sure is good to have him home from Europe again. Imagine him going over trying to swim the channel. What a mess. It took me 3 days to get the grease out of those wrinkles. He wasn't the first one who thought of swimming the channel, but he was the first one to try it with passengers. Well, I'd better get upstairs. Mr. Benny's residence, Rochester Van Jones speaking.
Hello, Rochester. This is Susie.
Oh, Susie.
Can you talk now?
Sure. Mr. Benny's already left for the studio. You know, today's his first broadcast of the new season.
Oh, his first program, huh? Oh, gosh, is he nervous?
Nervous? You should have seen him this morning. He combed his hair 3 times and then left without it. Anyway, I'm sure glad Mr. Benny is back. Things are awful dull while he was away.
Yeah, but Rochester, didn't you have a lot of work to do around the house?
Yeah, but there wasn't anybody
anybody here to make me do it.
Oh, Rochester, ain't you the one?
Yeah. Now, look, honey, let's talk about you and me. How about a date tonight?
Well, yeah, but don't you have to get Benny, dinner for Mr. Benny?
No, not tonight. You see, this is his opening broadcast, and after the show, he'll probably take the whole cast to the Brown Derby for a pig.
Rochester? Why'd you stop talking?
The more I said, the sillier it sounded. Anyway, sweetie, I'll call for you as soon as I can and be sure to wear that same blue silk dress you wore last time.
Oh, but Rochester, honey, that dress is awfully tight.
Yeah.
My cousin is staying here with us, and gee, I kind of wondered if you couldn't get a boyfriend for her.
Oh, honey, we don't want anybody else along.
Oh, but she's awfully cute.
Maybe so, but...
She's about 5'4", and she's a gorgeous figure, real cute smile. Everybody says she looks exactly like Lena Horne.
She does?
Yeah, do you know anybody you can get for her?
Yeah. Now I'm trying to figure out who to get for you.
Never mind that. You're going with me.
Okay. Well, I gotta hang up, honey. I still got work to do.
All right, Rochester. See you tonight. Bye.
Goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, we spent the last 3 hours going through Beverly Hills, and now we're in the heart of Hollywood. Continuing down Sunset Boulevard, I'd like to point out the famous Palladium Ballroom.
Goodness, Henry, this has been one of the most perfect sightseeing tours I've ever been on.
Yeah, and to think the Chamber of Commerce supplies this bus free.
And now we come to one of Hollywood's most noted buildings occupying this full block. It's the nation's foremost radio network, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
This is where I get off, driver. I get off here. Open the door, please.
What did you say, mister?
I said, this is where I get off.
Get off? The Chamber of Commerce goes to the trouble of running a free bus so you tourists can see the city, and in the middle of a tour, you want to get off.
Open the door, please.
But you haven't seen everything yet. From here, we go to Figueroa Street, where we'll pose for a moment in front of a statue of Honest John, the original Ghost Rider in the sky.
Open the door, please.
Then we pass the City Hall on our way to the Los Angeles Police Department, where you'll see all the officers sitting around a table pointing at each other.
Open the door, please. I've got to get off here.
But you haven't lived until you've seen the sun as it slowly sinks its golden rays into the blue goo of the La Brea Garden.
I've seen it. Now open the door.
But, mister!
Let him off!
Yeah, let him off. That arguing is lousing up our honeymoon.
All right, bud. If you're going to get off, get off.
Thanks. Well, look at that crowd waiting to see my first broadcast.
Hey, it's Jack Benny. Hello, Mr. Benny.
Hello.
Are you going to have a funny program today?
Yes, sir. It'll have more surprises than a box of Cracker Jack.
A box of Cracker Jack? That guy's a riot.
Well, looks like I'm going to have a good audience. Yes, sir. It'll feel good being back on the air. Younger than springtime am I. Combed it and left it, oh my. Da-da-da-dum-dum. Gee, I combed it down in front so I'd look like Garbo. Well, here's Studio B. Hello, everybody. Hiya, gang.
Okay, men, here he is. Let him have it.
Thanks, fellas. Thanks. Well, everybody's here.
Hello, Jack.
Hello, Mary. Come on over here and give me a kiss.
Well, I can't. I just kissed Phil, and I got to take it home to my maid.
Well, give it to me. I'll take it home to your maid. Hey, Phil, you got your band number all set for the show?
Yeah, Jackson, I'm going to play that new cannibal song.
Cannibal song? What's that?
Some enchanted evening you may eat a stranger.
Oh, brother.
You may eat a stranger. Uh-oh.
What's the matter, Dennis?
Does anybody have any Scotch tape?
It's your own fault, kid. Stitches wouldn't have cost you much more, you know.
Say, Jack, we've only got a few minutes before we go on the air.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, where's Don?
Well, here I am, Jack, with the quartet.
Oh, yes. Hello, boys.
Hello, beautiful. How'd you get so beautiful? Where'd you get those lovely big blue eyes?
No, not now, boys. Save it for the show.
Hell, that's beautiful. How'd you keep so beautiful?
That's my secret. I won't put you wise.
Jack, we haven't got time for that now.
Yeah, Jack, we'll be on the air in 2 minutes. Where are the scripts?
Oh, yes, the scripts. I have them right. Uh-oh. Oh, my goodness.
Well, Jack, what's the matter? Where are the scripts?
I left them on the bus. I'll run out and see if I can catch them. Ooh.
Jack, what happened?
I slipped. Rochester didn't get all the grease off of me. Hey, driver! Driver, I left my script on the bus. Hey, driver! Driver!
Ladies and gentlemen, the flood of increased enrollments in our schools will create a critical situation within the next few years unless action is taken now. By taking an interest in our schools, all of us can help make sure that the community we live in gets the best education for the money it spends and provides the best possible educational opportunities for our children. So please join and work with local civic groups and school boards. Remember, better schools make better communities. Good citizens everywhere will help. Thank you. Jack will be back in just a moment, but first, 61.
Lucky's pay more. Yes, at the tobacco auctions, Lucky's pay millions of dollars more than official parity prices for fine tobacco.
LSMFT, LSMFT.
Lucky Strike means fine tobacco.
Listen to the words of a tobacco expert, Mr. Charles Thomas Randolph, independent buyer of Kinston, North Carolina. He recently said,
I've been learning about tobacco for 31 years, and during that time, I've seen the makers of Lucky Strike buy fine quality tobacco, the kind of tobacco that's bound to make a real good smoke. I've smoked Lucky's myself for 23 years.
And a recent survey reveals more independent tobacco experts, auctioneers, buyers, and warehousemen smoke Lucky Strike regularly than the next two leading brands combined.
so for your own real deep-down smoking enjoyment, smoke the smoke tobacco experts smoke, Lucky Strike.
And remember, Lucky's pay more. Millions of dollars more than official parity prices for fine tobacco. To give you a finer, milder, more enjoyable cigarette.
Good reason to make your next carton Lucky Strike.
And now we pause here a few minutes in Pasadena so you can see the famous Rose Bowl Stadium, which is over to your left.
Driver, open the door. Open the door.
Oh, it's you again.
Yeah, I left something on the bus. Open the door.
I will not open the door.
You will open the door. I left my radio scripts on the bus.
You're too late. I threw them in the blue goo of the La Brea Target.
Oh, and it's my first program.
Day and a day in the life of Dennis Day. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.